Okay, I think we're ready to go ahead and get started. So, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kimberly Marshall. I'm the Economic Development Director for the City of Medina and a board member of the Children's Center of Medina County. And I'd like to welcome all of you to the Children's Center ribbon cutting and donor preview event for the new location of this facility. We appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedules to be with us today. Before I begin introducing all of our elected officials and guest speakers, I just wanted to share a quick story with you about just sort of my experience, I guess. On August 18th, 2017, I met with Rhonda Wergler, the executive director of the Children's Center, and she wanted to talk to me about helping her find a new location for the Children's Center and possible funding through a capital bill process, because she knew we had some experience with that and were successful. I really didn't know what the Children's Center was all about at the time, and joining the board was not on my radar. However, being an economic developer, I was very excited to learn more about the Children's Center and to hear about the expansion project. Bigger building, new investment, job growth. These are all things that economic developers get excited about. So, however, after meeting with her and listening to Rhonda talk about the work that they do here, I felt very sad and conflicted about the fact that we need such a facility and these types of services in our community. I told Rhonda that these are not the projects that we like to hear about in economic development. But of course, I said I would help her any way that I could, and she agreed with my sentiments and said that she works hard every day in hopes that someday she will be out of a job. So think about that. In the summer of 2018, I joined the Children's Center board. They were getting ready to kick off a capital campaign for this facility. So it was an exciting time to get involved with the board and to make a difference. But really, the difference is made by all of you here today. I tell everyone that I'm always amazed at the generosity of our business community, who basically their doors get knocked on every day for assistance, and the leaders who step up on a daily basis to contribute to organizations like the Children's Center. It's very heartwarming to see the generosity of this community and its dedication to Medina. So here we are, almost 2 years later from when Rhonda and I first met, opening up a state-of-the-art facility in a new location with the ability to serve more families in Medina County. So that's the story about how I got involved with this. At this time, I would like to introduce Brian Cullen, our board president of the Children's Center, to give the invocation and his remarks. So Brian Cullen.
Thank you, Kimberly, and thanks everybody for braving the heat to be out here today. You'll notice in the program it mentions Dr. Michael Carlson. He is not able to attend today, but we want to mention he is a staunch supporter of the Child Advocacy Center, and we appreciate his support. If you join me in prayer. Lord, we're incredibly blessed to gather here today at this amazing place of healing. We're so thankful to be in this wonderful community and city. We ask that you bless the staff and give them strength and patience so they can carry on their mission of healing and prevention. Infuse the board of directors with insight and wisdom so we can guide with a steady hand and meet the needs of the community. Amplify our voices, Lord. No more whispering about abuse. Give us the courage to speak loudly so that those in need receive assistance. And Lord, our children should not hurt. They should jump and bounce and laugh and giggle and run. Bathe this center with your power and your love so that the hurt stops and the healing starts today and forever. We pray this in your name, our Savior, Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. It's a big day for us. This is huge. And it's big because you're here to be part of it. And we're so thankful. And we have so many thank yous to give. First, I want to thank Jen Graham. Jen's over there in the shade. Jen led our capital campaign, and Jen has been with the center almost from the beginning. And a fun fact about Jen, in her 6 year term at the center, most of that was spent as board president. So thank you for paving the way to today. I want to thank Anna for leading the capital campaign and everything you've done to get us ready for today. It's been amazing. Kimberly, thank you for partnering with Rhonda and making this day possible. So many people in the community, the Medina Women's Endowment Fund, Sunrise Rotary through their Wine and Roses program, the Medina County Community Fund, Medina Eagles, the Remington Foundation, Medina Kiwanis, and so many churches and community groups that reach out to us and say, we'd like to help you. We're having a fundraiser and we want to give what we raise to you. And so we're just so appreciative of that. I want to thank Rhonda, our director, who has overseen tremendous growth, and her staff. Amy, Bailey, Melissa, Anna, Kristen, Cheryl, Patrick, and Mallory. Thank you for everything you do to help the kids in the community. And for those of you or friends of yours or neighbors who've ever come to a children's cup, who've ever come to an auction, who've ever come to a pinwheel walk and thrown some money in the jar, thank you so that we could serve the children of Medina County. It is my honor right now to introduce our next speaker, a graduate of Brunswick High, a graduate of Tiffin University with a degree in criminal justice, joined the police force in 1983, was chief of police in 1996, mayor beginning in 2009, and in his third term of mayor. Also a Steelers fan. Please join me in welcoming to the podium the Honorable Dennis Hanwell.
It's my honor to be here today and speak very briefly so we can get you back into the air conditioning. There are a few people here I'd like to recognize. Some of the elected officials that are going to speak will be introduced later, but Mayor of Brunswick, Ron Falcone, is here, right behind my seat there, and Mayor Carol Carter is here from Seville, and Brandon Gibson is here representing, he's a staff assistant to Anthony Gonzalez, our federal congressman, and Leah Jones is the regional representative to U.S. Senator Sherrod Brown. And Senator Portman is here, and we'll hear from him shortly. So this state-of-the-art facility built with the new technology, I've been in Medina County for 39 years in law enforcement. I was the police chief when they built the Children's Center on Highland Drive and helped support that along with the prosecutors and the staff to get that project completed. But comparing that facility to this facility, I had a sneak peek a couple weeks ago. They walked a few of us through, and it is so technology improved that the FBI and Department of Homeland Security also bring their victims down here to do their interviews, because it's so unusual, if you think about the resources of the FBI and Homeland Security, to come to Medina to use this facility because of how great it is. It's a great resource for our community. It saddens me, as Kimberly mentioned, that not only are we seeing a need for this, but we're seeing a growing need. In 2016, they saw 59 victims. In 2017, that number escalated to 103. And last year, that number escalated to 133. And I know all of us, our hope and prayer is that that number starts a downward trend and gets to be zero if there's any way that's possible. And we're thankful for law enforcement. We're thankful for the prosecutors who are relentlessly going after these cases and holding these suspects responsible. And last but not least, I had a small part of this in 3 different ways. One is I'm a member of the Stevenson Foundation who supported this. Rick Stevenson is standing in the back here in the tree lawn, and I serve on that with Councilman Jim Shields and Don Mish from Huntington Bank. I'm also an Adam Board member, and the Adam Board also made Medina County Adam Board I represent the commissioners on, and they made a contribution. And then thirdly was the city in kind, helping out, contacting the utilities and just getting things accomplished. So I'm kind of in this cubed, if you will, and I couldn't be happier to see the end result of what was accomplished. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. The next person I would like to introduce wears many hats, as he is a local attorney, serves on many boards in the community, and is a strong economic development advocate. Ladies and gentlemen, Medina County Commissioner Bill Hudson.
Thank you, Kimberly, and thank you for having me here this afternoon. I'm here with Commissioner Geisman, and Commissioner Sweattick was not able to attend this afternoon. You know, every time I address crowds, I always talk about how great a place Medina County is to live, work, and play. We have a lot of collaboration. There are a lot of really, really good things about this county. But we have to remember that there are groups in the county that are not as well taken care of. And we have to be sure that we go out of our way to make sure that they have what they need to get them on a good path and to get them into good situations from where they're at today. I talked to Jeff Felton, who's here from our JFS, and he tells me that our foster care is up 48% this year. At any given time, we have between 70 and 80 kids in foster care across the county. Child Protective Services cases are up 72%. And our abuse and neglect investigations are up 112%. Startling statistics. And again, when you think about what a great place Medina County is, to sit back and think that we still have vulnerable populations that need our help. And the Children's Center goes a long way toward helping children, protecting children. And I'd just like to thank everybody who participated in this dream come true, and thank you for all the services and the good things you do for kids in Medina County. Pat, would you like to say a few words?
In the spirit of time, I'll be very brief, but I am very happy for the board members and the staff of the Children's Center that they have this new facility. I was very familiar with the old facility, and it did a lot of good in this community. Medina County is very fortunate to have this group in our county helping our children, because we do have abused children and they do need help, and it's here in Medina County.
Thank you, Commissioners Hudson and Geisman, for being here today. And now I have the pleasure of introducing the general contractor for this project. They have done a fantastic job renovating and building the addition, which is absolutely beautiful, and I hope that you all get to take the tour afterwards. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce Eric Allen, who is the Land Development Director of Pride One Construction. Eric?
Thank you. Doug Lair, our president, was supposed to speak today. Unfortunately, he's not feeling very well. And it's probably a weird thing to say, but I'm actually kind of happy about that. I'm very honored that I get to stand here in front of this building and speak for Pride One. I mean that personally and professionally. Pride One is, the entire group of us is so very proud that we were chosen to be the GC on this project. And personally, this is something that me and my family spent a lot of time volunteering with. We believe in what they're doing here at the Children's Center. But specifically, I'm standing up here because Pride One can't do anything without our subcontractors. I have a list of some subs here that donated their time and money. And one of the things that is really important to note is right now in the construction business, it's booming. I think we all know that. You don't have to be in construction to know that. And for these men and women, it's one thing to donate materials and money to this project, but their time is so valuable right now. And it was really great to see our subs believe in this enough to put their time in on Saturdays, sneaking in on Sundays and getting some stuff done when they could be off working on much larger, much more prestigious projects. But they believe in this. I'm very proud of these people on this list. I love working with these people. Try to put their names in your head. If you see their name on a sign, if you hear it mentioned in passing, I would like for you to remember that they gave their time and money for this project. TGC Engineering, Medina Excavating, Kleinis Construction, M&K Builders, High Country Builders, Dennis Albert Excavating, Owens Corning Roofing and Asphalt, Exterior Land Development, Interior Design Studio, MPG Architects, Perfected Tile and Flooring, Troy Mill Wood Products, EBS Construction, and Sherwin-Williams. We could not even begun to have done this without them. Again, thank you so much. Pride One is so very pleased that we are part of this. And again, thank you.
Thank you, Eric, and to all the subcontractors that have donated so much of their time and effort. Our next speaker, Janie Groza, is the Community Investment Leader for Westfield Insurance. She oversees Westfield Insurance Foundation, corporate citizenship, strategic philanthropy initiatives, and employee volunteerism. Working with her team, Janie aligns Westfield's philanthropy with its core values to distribute $3 million to primary support safety, disaster recovery, and family stability programs. Westfield has been a long-time, ongoing supporter of the Children's Center. Ladies and gentlemen, Janie Groza.
Thank you so much. As I was sitting here thinking about how we're all suffering through the heat, it's nothing compared to what our children have experienced, right? So it gave me some real life perspective. I want to say congratulations to the board and the staff for what they were able to accomplish, creating such a loving, nurturing, and safe place for our community and our community's children. I'll save this for you. I'll put your phone on it. You know, Westfield has had the honor of serving this community for over 170 years. We're considered one of the largest employers, and with that comes a great responsibility that we take very, very seriously. You might imagine we do get asked to do quite a bit, and unfortunately, we do have to say no, and we say no because we have very specific areas in which we want to have impact. When we were contacted to support the Children's Center, it was the one time that we really didn't need to gather around and talk about why we needed to do this. It was really, you know, how can we not? When we think about how we spend money at Westfield, we think about what it is that we do every day, and then we try to find partners that are aligned in our mission. So when you think about insurance, you know, we try to make people whole again. We try to put families back together again when tragedy occurs, and certainly the Children's Center shares that same mission with us. We're so proud and humbled to be a part of it, and thank you so much for inviting us to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Janie. The Children's Center receives federal funding from the Victims of Crime Act, which is VOCA. We have acronyms for everything in the government, which is regulated through the Ohio Attorney General's office. In 2017, the Children's Center of Medina County received $106.8 thousand in funding, and in 2018, that number grew to $250,000. VOCA funding covers 80% of the Children's Center staffing here. The increase in funding allows them to serve additional victims of sex abuse. Senator Rob Portman has been a longtime supporter of the VOCA funding and a leader in the country on fighting human trafficking, as well as helping the victims. He's the co-founder and co-chair of the Senate Caucus to End Human Trafficking. He's the author of 5 federal anti-trafficking laws signed by President Obama and has long championed efforts to stop sex trafficking. He also authored the Stop Enabling Sex Traffickers Act, also known as SESTA, which was signed into law by President Trump in 2018. SESTA was the result of a bipartisan investigation into Backpage.com, which culminated in a report exposing the company for knowingly facilitating criminal sex trafficking of vulnerable women and young girls and covering up the evidence of these crimes in order to increase its own profits. SESTA allows victims to get the justice they deserve and allows prosecutors to hold websites accountable for knowingly facilitating criminal sex trafficking. Today, we are so honored to welcome Senator Portman and his wife Jane Portman to Medina. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome United States Senator Rob Portman.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Senator.
Kimberly, thank you so much. It is an honor to be here with you guys. I'm sorry VOCA funding didn't provide for the outdoor air conditioning, but I imagine if you go inside, it's just beautiful. And for these kids, they're going to have a place that's a safe haven, respite, and get the kind of help they need for whatever trauma they've experienced. And let's be honest, we got a lot of great things going in this county. There's nothing like Medina County, as Bill said earlier, a great place to live, work, and play. And our country is doing well right now. The economy is good. The unemployment number's down. Wages are up a little bit for the first time really in a decade and a half in Ohio. But we've also got a lot of issues, don't we? Including more kids than ever in foster care. And I noticed that you mentioned the number of a 40-some% increase in foster care, even from last year. A lot of that, as you know, is due to the opioid crisis, where parents and sometimes grandparents and other caregivers just can't step up because of their own addiction. These kids need our help. Many of these kids, unfortunately, were born to mothers who were addicted and have this neonatal abstinence syndrome, they call it, which can create issues as well. They need us, and they need the center. Kids who have been sexually abused, and certainly kids who have been trafficked. I was interested to hear what you said about some of the figures here in this great county, with so much going for us and so many positive things that, yes, here too, trafficking is an issue. And frankly, some of those higher numbers, as troubling as they are, indicate increased prosecutions, which is a good thing. That we're beginning to identify some of these trafficking victims who perhaps in the past, we had overlooked. So I want to thank you for letting me be part of this today. Of course, I support the VOCA funding and will continue to do all I can to fight back against the trafficking issue, which is just something that we cannot accept in this century, in this country. We have to push back, and we're doing a better job of it. By the way, we shut down Backpage.com, which was the #1 website selling girls and women online, so we can make progress. I do want to mention that my wife Jane is with me today, and that's a great honor for me, particularly on our anniversary, which is today. She has put up with me for 33 years. And Jane and our kids, are the center of my life, but I also spend a lot of time in another center called Washington, D.C., and Jane does live here in Ohio, and she's chair of the Children's Hospital in Cincinnati, which, by the way, has been consistently ranked one of the top 3 children's hospitals in the country here in Ohio. We've got great hospitals in Northeast Ohio, too, that are doing great things for kids. But, this is a chance for Jane to see, frankly, what I've seen in Medina County over the years, which is this community comes together and gets things done, and this is a great example of it. Larry Ophoff is here. It's not bad having the Senate President represent you, let me tell you. He gets stuff done. He just helped fix a big problem in the budget in the state of Ohio, and congratulations, Larry, on that. I know it was a lot of hard work and a lot of late nights. Steve Hambley is here. Again, you're going to hear from him in a second, who does a great job for us in Columbus. And I'm told that Leader Kenny Yuka is with us. Kenny? So you got the leader, the Democratic leader, and the Republican president. If you need something in the capital budget next year for the children's home, these are the guys you want to talk to. Yes. Thank you both for your leadership and for your support of this. And I have a little something for Rhonda, if you'd come up, please. This is a small token of our appreciation for what everybody in this community has done. This is a flag that was flown over the United States Capitol in honor of the center. It reads, at my request, the flag was flown over the United States Capitol, presented to the Children's Center, Medina County, in recognition of the new facility and their work to nurture abused and neglected children. Thanks for the work you do every day, Rhonda, and your terrific staff, and congratulations to everybody. Here's your flag to be flown over.
We are getting a flagpole. It's coming.
I don't see a flagpole yet. Okay, now we got to buy you a flagpole.
And one's coming. We're getting
All right, we're getting a flagpole. Awesome. Congratulations, everybody. Well done.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming today.
We'll get a photo later.
Thank you, Senator Portman and Mrs. Portman, for being here. Welcome to Medina. I'll take you shopping later. Celebrate your anniversary. Okay, Larry Obhoff serves as president of the Ohio Senate for the 133rd General Assembly. As the presiding officer of the 33-member Senate, he is responsible for leading the Senate's Majority Caucus as it sets the policy agenda for the two-year legislative cycle. President Obhoff proudly represents the people of the 22nd Senate District, which includes Medina, Ashland, Richland counties, as well as portions of Holmes County. President Obhoff has received numerous honors in recognition of his work, including Legislator of the Year by the Public Children's Services Association of Ohio. President Obhoff has been instrumental in the Children's Center anti-human trafficking efforts. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Senator Larry Obhoff.
Well, and I've got a special guest today, and you heard Senator Portman mention him. Kenny Yuko, the Democrat leader in the state Senate, lives just north of here in Cuyahoga County, and he had no notice at all, but I called him about 2 hours ago and said, hey, we just worked together on a great state budget that did more for kids than any state budget in Ohio history, and a lot of it was targeted at the kinds of services that are provided here. So why don't you come down to Medina and let's talk about some of that stuff together. So Kenny, come on up. You can barely see over the top of this, right? So, but before I pass the microphone off to Leader Yuko, a couple of things I want to say. First of all, thank you, Senator Portman, for everything that you do. And you heard in the introduction about the SESTA Act. There isn't a more important piece of legislation, in my opinion, that has passed in the last 2 years in Washington, D.C. than that. And Senator Portman doesn't just talk the talk. When he gets to DC, he does the things that he says he's going to do for his constituents, and I'm very proud of the fact that those things include sticking up for kids who need it, shutting down websites that engage in human trafficking, going after offenders, and doing everything that we can to protect vulnerable children across the country. And thank you, Jane, for what you do at children's hospitals. As some of you know, I've had a lot of experience with children's hospitals myself, and so has Belle, and there isn't a more noble cause anywhere in the state of Ohio. This state budget that was signed into law by Governor DeWine yesterday, that we spent a lot of long hours on, that basically for 60 days I've been in Columbus every day, but I'm proud of the final product that we have, because as one of my colleagues, Jay Hottinger, said on the floor during his final floor speech on this bill, this is the most kid-friendly budget in Ohio history, and we more than doubled the spending on child protective services. We included substantial funding for kinship care and for foster care, for pre-K education, and a whole host of things. But child protective services in particular, I think, is one of the most important things that we've done in decades. And I look forward to seeing some of that money being spent here in Medina County, but in all 88 counties across Ohio, you're going to see a significant improvement in the services that we can provide and the number of people that we can hire to take care of kids who desperately need it. I want to thank everybody involved in the Children's Center here.
and all the people who've come out today for standing up for what's right, for helping the most vulnerable among us, and for doing God's work.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. And I want to thank President Opel for inviting me. How kind and how nice. And he knows that if I've been known for one thing in Columbus, it's my nonstop, something I stole, so I can't even give credit for it. I heard a long time ago that our children make up 30% of our population, yet they're 100% of our future. And if we ever lose sight of that, we've lost it all. And this facility behind me is a perfect example that we haven't lost sight of it. And this man standing next to me is not just my Senate president, he's my friend. And he's my friend because we work together. And we've been together not only here, we've been in Cleveland, we've been all over, whether it's fighting for kids with Down syndrome with the Buddy Walk, or spending Christmas Eve together at a children's hospital passing out toys. We are committed to the kids. We're committed to Ohio's future. We're committed to communities like yours and communities like mine. Why? Because together we represent Ohio. We really do. And to Senator Portman, thank you for all you do. And just so you know, I have Karen on speed dial. So, and I know you've taken care of a lot of business for me. So we really appreciate your spirit of cooperation. And you often hear about there's a divide between party lines, and I'm telling you, with Senator Portman, with Senator Raffhoff, and myself, and State Representative Hambley, don't believe that for 1 second. We're here to work together. We're here to work for you. God bless you for being out here today. Sorry about the heat. This is like Cleveland weather up here. I thought you guys were a little cooler down here, but we can handle this, okay? Thank you. God bless you, and keep fighting.
Thank you, Senators. State Representative Steve Hambley is serving his third term in the Ohio House of Representatives. He represents the 69th House District, which includes most of Medina County. Prior to being elected to the House, Steve served as Medina County Commissioner for 18 years. Representative Hambley has been a supporter of the Children's Center efforts since the beginning in 2005, when he was a Medina County Commissioner. He now serves on the Medina County Coalition Against Human Trafficking. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome State Representative Stephen Hambley.
Thank you. How would you like to follow two senators like that? Three senators, actually. Well, it's not often I get to quote Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela. There can be no keener revelation of a society's soul than the way in which it treats its children. The way we treat our children reveals our soul. And indeed, today's center does reveal our soul. You've heard already about the operating budget, what we've done at the state level, certainly at the federal level. State level is the most child-friendly. It's probably one of the greatest expansion, not only in terms of education, but also the very necessary services needed in Ohio. But the federal government, the state government are not going to be the only ones that can make that happen, to make it. What it comes down to is at the county level, it's at the local level, it's at the individual level. There is evil in this world. We see it. And unfortunately, it happens and will continue to happen. Even with all the money coming in resources at the federal level and state level and our dedication in the future, we're still going to need that at the local level. In fact, there is don't mind me getting a little political, we have a human services levy that will be on the ballot most likely in November, and thank the commissioners for putting that to the ballot and let the people demonstrate that in Medina County, we put our money where our mouth is. We put our resources where we say we're going to put them. If children are our priority, we will put our money there. When we had a sales tax for schools levy for capital improvements, the voters voted for that. Unlike any county in the state of Ohio, we have a permanent levy involving sales tax that goes and has helped the schools. And here we have the opportunity with the Human Services Levy not only to help those as to demonstrate our soul, to help not only the children, but also seniors and those with mental illness. And so I guess my plea today here is to remember what we're doing here today is a great start. what we do here today, but we also have a task ahead, political tasks. So I've given my sizable contribution to the levy campaign. Hope many of you will do the same, because we need to get the message out that there are answers to this. It is a community that answers the call. It's the community that puts the resources together, and there is still a need. So when we get down to it, after we do all our plaques and celebrations, tomorrow there's still more work to do, the day after, the month after, and there is that expanding need. The need is still there, but Medina County, if we can't handle it, nobody can. And I'm just saying, it is so proud to represent not only a district, but a county that has demonstrated that time and time again. When given the opportunity, we bring to bear the resources, we bring to bear the talents, we bring to bear the money and dedication needed to eradicate that evil, hopefully forever. And with God's grace, we will continue to do so. With that, it is my pleasure, if Rhonda, if you would mind coming forward, to present to you. Let me read just a little bit from a commendation from the Ohio House of Representatives. On behalf of myself, Representative Darrell Kick, who is in the 70th district, and then Speaker Larry Householder, the generous contributions of the Children's Center of Medina County have improved the lives of many, and it is only fitting that we applaud the organization and its staff for their dedication to help others. Each person associated with this endeavor exemplifies sensitivity and integrity, and their work has inspired those around them to strive for excellence. Thus, it is with great pride that we commend the Children's Center of Medina County on the auspicious occasion of the ribbon cutting for its new structure and extend the best wishes for the future.
Thank you, Representative Hambley. I have not had the pleasure of meeting Governor DeWine in person. However, I did get to see him speak at a site selector event in Cleveland last week. The thing that impressed me about him is that at the end of his remarks, he actually shared his cell phone number with the entire crowd and said, "Hey, if you need any help, please give me a call and I will try to help you." And everybody got out their notepads and they were like frantically writing it down, and I think we all have them on speed dial now. I haven't called the number yet, but I think I want to try it just to see if he answers. But Michelle tells me, yeah, he probably will. So I thought, now this governor is very approachable, and of course I don't really have him on speed dial, but you never know. We might give it a try. Governor DeWine has been very instrumental in supporting our efforts of healing children who have been abused. Unfortunately, he could not be here today, and we do hope that he will visit the center in the future. However, I would like to introduce Michelle Gilchrist, who is the Northern Ohio Regional Liaison for Ohio Governor Mike DeWine. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Michelle Gilchrist.
Thank you, everyone, for inviting me to be here with you today, in spite of the fact that the governor couldn't make it. I stand here proudly representing him. I've worked for him since 1998, when he was in the U.S. Senate, and then throughout his tenure as Attorney General. And the one thing that always stands out in my mind is that he's always put children first, in terms of his policy, his legislative objectives, and as Senate President talked about today in the operating budget that was put forth. So on behalf of Governor DeWine, this building has special meaning too, because it was under his leadership as Attorney General that they were able to receive an increase in the VOCA funding. And hopefully, as those funds continue to flow through from the federal level, increases will be seen in future years. I have a proclamation from both Governor DeWine and Lieutenant Governor Husted that I'd like to present to Rhonda. Rhonda should just stand up here. And I'll just read a portion of it. This occasion is a reminder of all the hard work and dedication that has resulted in the completion of this project, and we commend all partners and supporters for the completion of this endeavor. The service you provide to the children of Medina County is invaluable, and we thank you. Congratulations on this new facility.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. Please get the governor here. You know I'll be relentless until he shows up. Okay. Ohio's 51st Attorney General, Dave Yost, was sworn into office January 14th of 2019. Previously, he served as Ohio's 32nd Auditor of State and as elected prosecutor for Delaware County. He has stood with the victims of crime, from women and children harmed by predators to law enforcement officers injured in the line of duty. The Attorney General's office has been working to increase victim services across Ohio. Attorney General Yost could not be with us today. However, I would like to introduce to you Carrie Bartunik, who is the Director of External Affairs. Carrie?
Thank you. Congratulations on this new facility. As you have heard from others, our office does indeed work quite a bit with victim services and with human trafficking, and particularly human trafficking is near and dear to the Attorney General's heart. He is sorry he couldn't be here today, but does send his congratulations. I do have yet another one, Rhonda. We'll make it quick. I won't read it word for word, but it does say that the Medina County Children's Center provides not only child advocacy services, but also family visitation and anti-human trafficking services. Again, something that we both work on and advocate in our own office. We want to congratulate you for your work with the youngest, most precious members of your community here in Medina County.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Carrie. Rhonda Wergler believes that every child has a right to a happy childhood, especially a childhood without abuse. Throughout her career, Rhonda has been working to achieve that goal. Her early career history includes working as a deputy sheriff and as a volunteer firefighter. Most recently, as executive director of the Children's Center of Medina County, Rhonda has been instrumental in launching and facilitating the center to obtain status as a nationally accredited child advocacy center and moving to this larger building, allowing for more children and families to receive essential services to heal from abuse. Rhonda is founder and convener of the Medina County Coalition Against Human Trafficking and co-chair and founder of the Trauma Informed Care Consortium through Medina County Family First Council. Appointed by the commissioners, Rhonda serves on the Ohio Children's Trust Fund Northeast Ohio Regional Child Abuse Prevention Council. Rhonda is also involved with community organizations including 100 Plus Women Who Care, Medina Evening Kiwanis, and Women's Network of Northeast Ohio. Rhonda is a graduate of Leadership Medina County, one of my peeps, and holds a bachelor's degree in sociology and a master's degree in public administration. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce Rhonda Wergler, Executive Director of the Children's Center of Medina County.
Thank you. I'm truly overwhelmed at everybody that has come out in the heat to support children in our community. I took this job in 2011 as director, and at that time, never in my vision did I anticipate we would build a new building and serve the amount of kids that we're serving now, and to truly expand programming to include human trafficking victims and foster care visits. So being able to help every child, whether they're physically abused, sexually abused, or neglect, is such a privilege in this community. During this building process, I've been truly amazed. You know, this community in Medina truly is a village. We pull together when we need to make sure we have what's available for these kids to heal. And I can tell you with my history, when you walk through this building today, you're gonna see my vision of it is, as a child walking in, what do they need? What will they need? As myself as a survivor, as a child victim, to be able to build something that I know when they enter, they're receiving what they need and they can leave with the tools that they need to heal is such an accomplishment for my board, for my staff, for me, and this community. We would not be standing here without the Medina community in Medina County. They are incredible. In the state, you know, look, the representation just is kind of mind-blowing. So I thank each and every one of you, especially sitting here in this heat today, and for everything you've given and having a belief that these children are worth the efforts that we're doing. And that's the key. They are worth it. They need to know that they're part of this community and that we care. And you've been able to do that in a very strong, important way that will live on for many years. And we will help many, many more kids. And that's truly what this is about, is helping as many kids as we can so they have an opportunity for happy childhoods. They have an opportunity to grow up and be successful adults. So please, everybody, applaud yourselves for being supportive in this mission. It's so important, and I look forward to you walking through and seeing and trying to experience it in the way a child does. Because that's how I envision it every day, is if I was walking in here at 8 years old, what would I want to see, where would I want to be, and how do I want them to help me? And that's what we do. My staff is amazing. They do a wonderful job, and without them, this would not happen. So thank you, everybody, for your time today and coming out in this heat. Just amazing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Rhonda. Okay, if I could have Mayor Ron Falcone from Brunswick come up, Brandon Gibson from Congressman Gonzalez's office, and Leah Jones from Senator Brown's office. We have a little parade of proclamations. We could do that quickly. I don't know. I guess if you would like to go.
Thank you. I'll be very, very brief. Rhonda, thank you again, and also to the Children's Center of Medina County. Thank you for inviting for me, and as a representative of the people of Brunswick, I have a proclamation. Whereas on this date, July 19th, 2019, as proud citizens of Medina County, we have met here to witness this fine facility known as the Children's Center of Medina County. And whereas this goal has been attained only through the generous contributions and wholehearted efforts of the citizens of this area and partners who have supported children and families in Medina County. Now, therefore, I, Ron Falcone, the 12th mayor of the city of Brunswick, on behalf of the city council and the 35,000 people of Brunswick, do hereby extend sincere and best wishes to all who have worked so faithfully and given so generously to make this dream a reality for the Children's Center of Medina County. Thank you again.
Luckily, the letter is brief, but I'm Leah Jones, honored to be here on behalf of U.S. Senator Sherrod Brown. Dear friends, please allow me to extend my congratulations as you celebrate the grand opening of the Children's Center of Medina County. The construction of this new facility will enable the Children's Center not only to expand the population it serves, but also address the unique problems that face children and families. Congratulations to the Children's Center of Medina County as you celebrate the successful completion of this project. Thank you for all that you do serving our community, and I wish you the best in the years ahead. Your United States Senator, Sherrod Brown. Thank you.
Hi, Rhonda. Thanks for having Congressman Anthony Gonzalez's office here. I knew it was going to be 100 degrees here. That's why I have a short, brief certificate that just says Certificate of Special Recognition to the Medina County Children's Center in recognition of your grand reopening.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I always like to tease that we're from the government. We can't even have a party without all the paperwork.
All right, is everybody ready? Let's go.